One thing that I'd like to see men do is to be active in their own education around equity issues. I feel like too often I'm seeing articles about gender equity and sending them to my male friends. And instead, I want to see men really taking ownership of their social media feeds on Twitter, on Facebook, even on Reddit, um, and to create an online environment in which they're seeing different perspectives, hopefully from women and also about women, to educate themselves on these topics.
I think something that male allies or people who are starting to kind of question what's going on can do, it's simple, and just ask yourself why things are the way that they are. Whether you're just beginning to learn about privilege, gender equity, you can ask yourself, why are there no women at this table right now? Should there be a woman helping direct this, or should there be a woman involved? If not, why? Why are the women cheerleaders? Why are men sports players? And just kind of starting to question everything around you.
One thing I would really like men to start doing is reconsidering their position within the ADL, and really understanding that they have power within that organization and institution, and this is not really up to us, and they really need to care and understand that this is something that is dramatically affecting our sport, and they have the power to do something about it, and we don't.
Something I really wish is that men would just actually listen to the things that women say. I feel like so often women do put things out there like, here's how I feel about this, or these are the impacts I see, and men listen to it, or they hear it with the intent to sort of argue against it or to pick it apart, instead of just actually listening and accepting that point of view. I also have a really hard time with this question because I feel like so often there's all these things that are thrown out that are like, share women's highlights videos and get to know women's players and buy their jerseys. And that's all well and good, but I actually am that doesn't mean that much to me. Until you're actually willing to sacrifice some of your privilege by not participating in the AUDL and giving your consent to an inequitable system, or until you're willing to actually speak up and act up and rally your team around inequities in women's video production or something like that. You retweeting a women's player doesn't really mean anything to me.
Another thing that I want to throw out there is that a lot of my activism around this topic is in sort of the rec side of the sport, in local leagues here in Seattle. And one thing that I hear a lot from men at the rec level is that, Frisbee is their hobby and it's where they get away from their day job and where they can relax. And I want men who are trying to be allies to understand that all of these larger societal trends around gender and women as athletes don't just stop at the door for women when they step onto their Frisbee field, that things like domestic violence rates and sexual assault and the pay gap and all of these things don't stop once you step on the lines, in the same way that men in our sport can sort of drop their problems as soon as they step on the field.